This is Replicant Fish. Hello, man. Hope you've had a good day. Hope you've had a good weekend. Now, today I have this topic. It is something we understand as men of all ages, men of various backgrounds. It's something many of us understand, even if we can't rationalize it and make it make sense. Many of us as men have experienced it and seen it from women. By that I mean, this is why she won't respect you if you care too much, if you give her too much, if you give her too much willingly without her trying. Now, we can begin from the point of view of, as I always say, why the nice guy would lose in comparison to the guy that is not so nice to her. And that comes back to how much of a challenge you are for her. Because if you're not a challenge, you're not really doing much for her, now are you? So, because we understand that principle, it's to understand the deeper principle of, there is no pleasing a woman. Now understand this. Yes, of course you can make a woman happy. You can actually please a woman. You can make a woman smile. You can make a woman feel as if she's the most cared for and loved person ever. But those things are only for a moment in time. So the men that do, and because they see how when they do much for her, how happy it makes her, they try to keep her in this zone of being content and happy. So they would do and do and do and do, yet she's still not happy. Whereas some men understand that, look, I have no time to continually do things for this woman, to continually make her life better, as my life is suffering for her. She's one of many women. There are tons of women out there. Women are far easier to get now than they've ever been. So stressing yourself with one woman is pointless. Yes, you care about her, but if she's giving you problems, she's stressing you out, why are you holding on to her? That's dead weight. And this is a thing that some men don't understand because they care too much. Many men overcare until they reach a point where they snap. They snap because they have held back for so long. They have not acted on what they should have acted on from the start. They kept giving her more and more, giving her more room to swing, to move around, giving her more room in your head, giving her more room in your life until she's dominating your life. And men do this, thinking this is what she wants and this would make her happier. Understand this? Never listen to women in terms of what they say they want. Look at what they want. They show you all day, every day, what they want. So you as a man, do not fool yourself. If you're dating a woman and you're approaching her and spending ridiculous money on her and wondering why she's not giving you any, why should she? She has no respect for you. You're no challenge for her. She did not have to make you spend that money on her. You did it of free will. You just gave in. You just gave it to her. No challenge at all. You threw yourself at her. And understand this, women have men throwing themselves at them all the time. Do you not pay attention to the fact of the men that don't throw themselves at women? So long as women find them appealing, women are throwing themselves at those men. From a woman's point of view, deep down they know they have not the power of a man. That's not to be sexist, it's just to make a simple point. You see, because women know they don't have the power we have as men, women that are not fooled by this feminist nonsense, they understand they need not have the power of men, because they have the power of a woman. What is the power of a woman, you ask? The power of a woman is the ability to have almost any man she wants, if she's good looking enough. Let me explain. For however powerful that man is, however rich he is, however great he is, we as other men can look upon him and say, "Oh, I can't stand that guy. I'm inspired by that guy. That guy gets all the women because of this and that." Whatever. We can only aspire to be like him. Aspire to have what he has, to do what he has done, or to do similar things in our lives. But the point is, for women, if she's good looking enough and appealing enough for him, she can have him and have control of him. This is why many men do fool themselves and they are naive to women. They do underestimate women. Women are not weak, delicate creatures. You're a fool if you believe that. Women are not weak and delicate creatures. Of course, they're not as strong as we are physically, but they're not delicate creatures. Women can't be delicate creatures. Women do have to have a nature of savagery in them. Because understand, for women, it's a survival instinct. It's how they survive, by picking the best, most strongest, most appealing mate. Now, it's a sense of that doesn't have to make sense to us as men. Even if we can see that guy's a moron and he treats women like crap, and women throw themselves at him and then complain that, oh, certain men treat them like crap, we know this and we understand it as men. We see the dynamic and we see how stupid it is. To women, it makes sense. It makes sense to them because they're going by their instinct and how they feel. How this man makes her feel. He makes her feel a certain way because of who he is and or what he has. And because he's not so easy. He's not throwing himself at her, no. So thus, he's appealing. There's something about him that she can't quite figure out just yet, but she is intrigued. In comparison to a man that's throwing himself at her feet and licking her feet, trying to get her attention, and she's ignoring him, looking at the man she really wants over there. And then she would just walk on the guy that's at her feet, licking her feet, to get to the guy that she really wants. She will pursue him. If not to talk to him, put herself in front of him to let him talk to her. You see, understand this. Husbands and highly committed boyfriends. January will be 3 years. In that time, I have had so many messages and emails from men who have told me their life story. And from the point of view of someone who gets these messages, gets these really deep and hurtful transcriptions of what's happened in men's lives from various men, it does paint a very vivid picture. See, for anything I understand myself, it's the proof I get and see from other men that let me understand that for anything small I see, it's on a bigger scale, a much wider scale. You see, because many of these men tell me that they committed heavily to the women they had in their lives and how they were destroyed because of it. This is the thing, I get more messages from men who have been heavily committed, who have been burnt, than men who are just trying to understand women and trying to learn more about them. Many men telling stories of how good they were, but how bad they were treated. Now, of course, we can not play that one-sided nonsense of saying, oh, but what did the men do? Of course, that is in existence as well. Of course, I'm not acting as if all of us as men are perfect and we do no wrong, and that none of us as men have done anything to make a woman do anything bad to us. Understandable. But the point I'm making is how common it is for many men to say that the more they did for a woman, the more they gave her, the less respect they got in return. I think it's a very difficult thing for men to get their heads around when they understand it fully. To understand that, damn, when you give a woman your all, you get nothing in return, or you get little to nothing. Yes, you get her, but you have to understand a woman is about survival. She would be with you if you are the safest option at that moment in time. Does not mean she likes you, does not mean she cares for you, does not mean she loves you. Just means you are the safe option right now. Because you're such a loving and caring man, you're giving her everything. And then one day you're surprised that this woman says, you know what, I'm done, and she just leaves. She's gone. Understand this as men. Stop giving so much. Stop giving what you have no need to give, what you don't have to give. Now, if you're content in tricking, and not just tricking, but also tricking yourself as in your time and your energy as well, you're giving her this much of your time and energy as well. If you're content in doing that, then fine. Disregard everything I'm saying. I'm just a moron, babbling and talking some nonsense about relationships and so on. Ignore me. But if you understand what I'm saying, you understand that when you overly give a woman anything, you're giving to a creature that wants and will always want, that is never, ever fully satisfied. To use a comparison I've used before, we have but one nut at a time. Women, they have multiple for a reason. They can go on longer than us for a reason. Understand that aspect and understand how it goes beyond just their sexuality. It goes into everything. One pair of shoes is not enough? No, of course not. So many clothes, yet she can't find anything to wear? Come on. The nature is right in front of you. You can see it for yourself. They don't respect you if you care too much. Maybe because they know their own worth. So a man that's doing so much for her When she understands, well, she would just go and do this guy over there that's doing nothing at all for her. She knows her worth. It's a sad thing many men don't. As sharp as a non-Gillette razor. Focus. Observe. Remember. The world is yours. Have a nice day.